Hi there, this is Jeremy Myers from tillhecomes.org. No, you're not going to hell. That's just a picture I've got there on one of my blog posts that I did the other day. And what I want to do in this video, this short video, is introduce you to a software, Bible software package that I've been using for a while and have found pretty helpful in my own study, research, and writing. And kind of show you some of the tips and hints that I use in using this Bible software. I actually use 2 or 3 different software packages, but this one I have found to be particularly helpful in recent days. So it's Logos Bible software, and the beautiful thing about it is the software is free. It says it's 15. You can get 15% off, and that's if you purchase some of the resources and other add-on things. But the software itself is free, and I used the free version of it for quite a while. More recently, I have been purchasing a few of the items and using them in my study and research, and have found it to be extremely helpful. If you do end up purchasing something, I would appreciate it if you don't mind. Boy, you get 15% off, so why not? It's coming over to my site and just clicking on it. Or when you check out, just use this checkout code, till he comes 5. Make sure you put that 5 on the end. And that way you're going to get 15% off. They give me a little bit as a way of saying thank you for referring you to them. So that's just if you purchase something. Obviously, you can use the software for free and some of their free resources. They put out a free book every month. I download that and use it in my own study, research, and writing as well. So that would be another reason for you to get the software, so that you can get these free resources they send out, they make available every month as well. So just in the next few minutes, I want to show you some of the ways I use this software. This is what it looks like when you open it up, and they have the home button, the library button, shows you a list of all of your resources, and then powerful search functionality. So I'm going to show you a few of these things. Now in your library, you know, all it is a big long list of all your books, and I mean that's helpful if you know exactly what book you want, but it can get a little overwhelming the more resources you have in there. So one of the things that I have found helpful is to create collections, and this way if there's a certain sort of book I want, I can narrow it down because I have created a collection. Right now I have these 4 collections: Bibles, other books, Greek tools, and theological journals. So let me just show you real briefly kind of how to make a collection. You would just come over here to the Collections tab, go to Tools and Collections, right there, okay, and it would open up this, put in a name. I'll just recreate this Bibles one, put in a name for it, and then all you're going to do, you can create some rules and it's going to add things, or you can just drag and drop resources from your library right here into this area, and it will add them. So for example, this is Bibles. I'm going to go, here's the authorized version. I'm going to just drag that right over there, drop it in, see that? And you know, I would just go through and find some. Here's the American Standard Version, take that, drop that in, and that's how collections work. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to create the sort of tools, the sort of collections and things that you want to be using for your study. Okay, so after you have created your collection, one of the other things you want to learn how to use is one of the most powerful features of Logos is this search functionality. I'm going to close my Collections tab over there. The search functionality is amazing. You can search the Bible for Bible reference, you know, search in the version you have open, or search in all your Bibles or whatever, just for a Bible reference, a Bible verse. That's helpful. Super fast, super easy. You can go over and do a basic search in your entire library, and you can search by word, you can search by reference. So let's say I was going to do a study on Genesis, I don't know, 1-2. And I would put that in there and search, and look, it just loads it all up. And the beautiful thing about it is it doesn't search for just GEN 1-2, but it's going to search for all types of references where Genesis 1-2 is found. So here it's found this article at BibSac for Genesis 1-1-3. Here's Genesis 1-2, and see it's using the full reference. Even look down here. It doesn't even have the abbreviated book title. All it has is 1-2, and yet it finds that this is a reference to Genesis 1-2, and it even still finds it. So this is a beautiful thing. You can find in all of your entire library, every tool that refers to Genesis 1:2. And you might say, well, that is overwhelming. Yeah, but look, over here, it organizes them to a degree by count, by importance. So here's a title, an article that has Genesis 1:2 71 times. That's going to tell me that this article is going to be very important for me to read if I'm researching Genesis 1:2, because it's mentioning it all over the place. Down here, you get into articles and books and so on that only mention it 2 times or whatever, so I may not mention those or go read those, but these ones near the top are going to be more critical for me to look at. And of course, if you wanted to do, a study on grace or something, again, same thing. It's going to go through and find resources that talk a lot about grace. Here's one, 236 times. Looks like it's some sort of discussion on Cornelius. Heck, if you wanted to, let's do this. Let's find out what happens here. Hey, look at that. So there are several places, or some of my resources. Oh yeah, this is from a place I used to work, and so these are articles that I have written and book reviews I've written, and a few other places that I've been mentioned. So that's cool. Kind of a vain search, a vanity search there, but who hasn't done that on Google every once in a while? Hey, you can do it in Logos as well. So that's the search, and again, all sorts of things you can do to search. Look here, there's even some tips. When you go and click the search button, this thing opens up. So if you want to search by Greek or Hebrew, you can do that. So let's say I want to search for the Greek word agape. Okay, I type it in English, but there it shows up in the Greek, and I can search for it if I want, everywhere that the Greek is mentioned. And you can do the same thing with Hebrew as well if you want to search for Hebrew. Let's do... let's see. Okay, so just different ways of searching. It's kind of difficult to search for Hebrew because they have the vowel points and other things. It's a little hard to know exactly how to spell those words. But nevertheless, you can search by Greek and Hebrew too, and maybe even use morphology over here to help you search. So again, I don't want to go into a lot of detail on this. I'm not sure if you're going to be doing a lot of Greek and Hebrew searches, so you can toy around with that more on your own if you want. Next thing I want to talk about is a beautiful thing here about citations. I do a lot of writing. Let's just open up some random resource here. I'm going to open up the BibSac resource here. This is from January 1991. Let's say I'm reading this article here, and I want to print it out to read. I like to read things on paper. Of course, if I find a really great article and I want to print it out, well, all I have to do, I press Control P. If you're on a Mac, it'd be Command P or something, but you can also just do the print. But look what happens here is I can choose. This beautiful print dialog opens up, and here's the article that I was reading. I can choose which sections, which parts. I can print the whole article if I want by clicking this, and it's just going to, it will select all of the subpoints and everything. And then it's going to reformat it here with the selections that I have, with the portions of the article that I have selected. And see, it's all in there in this beautiful article, which will print out perfectly. It shows you, gives you a little preview here on what it looks like. Let's say I don't want the whole article, and I only want a few pieces of it. I'm going to come over here, and I can just select the pieces I want, and it's going to reformat it. And over here, it tells me, the printer size, and there's my printer. If I didn't want to print it, I could send it over to Microsoft Word. Look at that. Or even create a web page out of it, a rich text. I mean, just copy it if I want. There's all sorts of things I could do to this article here. And the nice thing about it, too, is it puts right on there the bibliographic data, so that if you are going to cite this article, it shows you which page of the original journal that article came from. A very, very nice feature, excuse me, to Logos Bible software there. Now, what if I was reading along digitally, and I wanted to cite something. I said, wow, that is a really great quote. So I would go over there. I'm going to copy that, go over to my Microsoft Word document, paste it in, and look what it does. It automatically adds a footnote reference to, it puts it right in there exactly. I didn't have to do anything. When I pasted it over into Microsoft Word, it added the footnote reference for me. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It does that with the journals. It does that with the books. Let's just go show you one example from a book. I'm going to go open some book here. Let's find one. Here's one from Childs. Yep, so we're going to open that. That opened up over here. Look, it has the table of contents over on the side here. I want to quote a part out of Faith in the Old Testament and in Judaism. So I'm reading along and I think, wow, look at this. This is a great quote here. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do Control C to copy it. Come over to Microsoft Word. I'm typing along. Here is a great quote from Childs. Paste it in there. Look at that. Footnote. Adds it right in, right down here at the bottom. Perfectly formatted in the Turabian format that I like. You can set the format. You could go over to Tools and, I'm not sure where it is. I found it earlier, but you can change the way that it formats. Choose the footnoting format. So it's a beautiful thing. Just look around, you'll find it. Last thing I want to show you is how to add notes. This is another powerful feature. Let's say I was reading this and I wanted to add a note about this point. All I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to add a note to this. Right? And my note thing pops up over here. I'm going to say these are notes from Childs, and then down here I can add a note to it saying look at this great quote from Childs, or however you want to do it, and it adds it in. Okay, and then next time you're reading it, it's been highlighted and you can see there's a little note, and you would just click it on and it'd take you over to the note. You can do that to the books, you can do that to the theological journals, you can even do it to the Bible if you like to write in the margins of your Bible. Say, for example, you're studying Genesis 4 here. You're reading along and you want to study. It says, oh, and Cain brought forth the fruit of the ground, an offering unto Jehovah. And you thought, well, fruit, that's interesting. I need to study that more. I'm going to go add a note. Oh, I see. I don't want to add this. I'm going to go add a note here. I'm just going to call this notes. And I want to add this note saying, is this Hebrew word the same word used in Genesis 3 for the fruit that Eve ate from the tree and offered to Adam? And that would be something for me to study a little bit later. But see, that way next time I'm reading this, there's a little note in there. Maybe it's something I want to study further. You can do that with the Bible references and books and everything else. So that's a little bit about Logos Bible Software. It's a huge, wonderful, powerful tool, great resource, good Bible software package, and I highly recommend it. And I hope that if you get it, that you will find it as helpful as I have in your study, research, reading, and writing. And if you use it, again, do yourself a favor. You can get 15% off by using this Till He Comes 5 code, and that helps me out a little bit as well. There's all these packages you can buy: starter, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and they get kind of expensive, but you're going to get 15% off these, and they even have an interest-free monthly payment plan as well for you to use. Also, there's lots of other videos down here they've put together to help you write your sermons, learn Bible history. You can do a topical sermon, investigate Bible facts, all sorts of things. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a little bit, and I hope that you end up using Logos Bible Software as I have in my study and research and writing, and you found it as helpful.